Hello and welcome back to my plant-based DSMES world. Today I thought I would show you sort of this reminder form that I created a couple of years ago and I've refined it since. But this is just something to remind patients of the things that we talked about in our meeting because most of my initial meetings are 1 hour and we do review a lot of information. So this is only one of several things that I give them that first appointment, but you can see that at the top of the page, not only their name and the date, so they can recall what date it was, but the goals, what this patient wants to achieve. So I like to create two goals because most of my patients um, have a weight loss goal. We create a weight loss goal, and also I like to create a blood glucose goal. So as far as the weight loss goal, I like to create three goals in that space. The first goal I like to ask, um, what's the long-term goal? So what do you want to accomplish in 6 months, in a year? What do you want to weigh? How much weight do you want to lose? Then we go sort of interim. So I ask, by Labor Day. What do you want to weigh by Labor Day? Or maybe by Christmas. So something that's more like 2 or 3 months down the road, something that's sort of benchmarked by a holiday or a big occasion, a wedding, a birthday, or something like that. And then I ask them to set a goal for our next appointment. So I usually ask people to come back 2 weeks after this initial appointment, and I ask them in that time, how much weight do you want to lose? What do you want to weigh by the time you come back here? And so we talk about that and what's realistic for them, where they're starting out, how much room for improvement is there in their diet, in their exercise program. So we'll make a third piece of that goal. I'm going to flip back um, to something that I created with a patient. This form is a different color because this is not a diabetes patient. This is a weight loss patient. So you can see here up at the top, her weight loss goal for short term. She wanted 10 pounds in 2 weeks. I did not encourage that, but that's what she wanted. She wanted long term I'm sorry, interim. She wanted short term, so 200 pounds. And then her ultimate goal was to be 160 pounds. So let's go back to the blue. Okay, so then I have this little grid about with the four food groups or the five food groups in this case, and we go through them one by one, and we talk about what foods they like, what foods they don't like. Um, by now, they've given me sort of a rundown about what foods they are generally eating. So I have an idea of what they like, and I like to emphasize what they're already eating because then I tell them just do more of that. At the beginning, if you like oatmeal, do more of that. If you like lentil soup, do more of that. And you can see that I have lots of room here for writing because say when it gets down to fruits and we talk about, I'll ask them, what fruits do you like? Oh, I like apples and bananas and pears and grapes and peaches. So I write all those down because then when they go home and they take a look at this, I have to think that they all feel a little lost at first. But when they when they look at this page and say, "Oh, fruits, oh yeah, apples and bananas and peaches, I like all those things," it makes seems to me that it would be so much easier for them. We talk about vegetables, nuts and seeds, and of course, the oil, the refined sugars, and the flours. I'm going to go back to one of the ones that I have already created with a patient of mine. This was a diabetes patient, and his goal, he wanted to weigh 200 pounds. He didn't have interim goals or anything that like that. He wanted to reduce his A1C to 6.5, and that, of course, was by the next time that he had his blood glucose tested. Um, and you can see that here I emphasized several times high fiber, and these were the things that I encouraged him to eat. Here at the bottom of the page, this exercise recommendation. On the first visit, we don't really have that much time to talk about exercise because we talk about hypoglycemia, we talk about the nutrition piece somewhat. And remember that as an exercise physiologist, I can't give personalized nutrition plans. So this is just an overview of a plant-based diet, and I encourage them to eat the things that they already like. But about this exercise piece, I usually give them a goal of walk the dog more, walk to the post office, take a book out of the library and walk to the library. But this particular man, he had a dog and he felt like he was neglecting his dog. So walking the dog more would be a way to get him off of the couch. And then on the next visit, we would talk about more about exercise and how that would fit into the whole his whole program. So in any case, I hope that this is helpful for you. I of course base this on the four food groups handout that I spoke about in one of the previous videos. But I'm going to include this in the show notes underneath the video. And if you have any questions, comments, by all means, shoot them at me. All right. See you in the next video.